Getting an offer is the tricky part. The whole point of selling your house is that you set it up and market your house to get an offer. If you've priced it well to the market, it is not uncommon that an offer is going to come in quickly. And the old adage of first offer, best offer proves to be true in so many cases that I've seen over the years.
Evaluating offers, there's a real kind of saying in the industry that often the first offer is the best, but at the end of the day you can't generalise. You have to take each offer on its own merits is the key thing.
If you're lucky enough to get an offer in the early stages of going to the market, it quite often is going to be your best offer because the property is fresh to the market, you've got the greatest flow of people looking through it with interest, there's nobody with any perceptions about the house, e.g. after say 8 or 12 weeks there's often comments like, oh well, what's wrong with this property? None of that negativity surrounds the house. It's fully a positive time for you, if you receive an offer, to look at it seriously.
It's a matter of getting yourself ready for that first offer, and your agent should help you through that. And that's before the offer comes in. Once you get the offer, if you've priced it well and you've gone through all the market, you've got an understanding of where your house fits in. From that point, it's then just working with the agent about getting as much as you can from that person or persons.
I like to think that the vendors I work with trust me to include me within their evaluation process, and we discuss things quite openly. We pretty much know whether we've got a good offer or not. You do have to take on board some of the feedback you get from the inspections that you've had. There may be things which are pulled up which are negative on the property that might pull the price down, or there may be even things which people say, wow, look at that, we hadn't come across a property like that, which may actually make you rethink and think maybe we could hang out for a little bit more money. But ultimately it's about just evaluating each offer on its own merits.
When you get an offer, negotiation is a interesting part of the process. Again, if you've priced the property right and worked on the market value of the property, you understand where it fits in. If they offer you the asking price, then there's no negotiation. If they offer you very close to the asking price, there's probably no negotiation. And if the agent has done their job well, then that is going to be a situation that will occur. So if it's away from it, it's then just a matter of working with what is on paper and to get the best offer out of the purchaser. And then it's a matter for the seller to look at that and say, okay, how is that what I want to take? Will that allow me to move on with my life? Because that's the important part.
The key thing though is if you get an early offer, don't get carried away and think, oh, there'll be a better one around the corner. If it's a good enough offer and it's an offer you would have accepted when you first listed the property, probably it's the right thing to do is to accept it and move on. And also don't get too caught up again in hanging out for a few extra thousand or whatever. Everything is relative within that particular marketplace. If you're buying another property and you're cashed up, you might be able to realise a stronger negotiation position once you've actually sold your property as well.
And if it does actually fall within the range that your agent has assessed it to fall within, and it's at the top end of that assessment, because mostly we give a range that's within 15 or 20,000 from the lowest end of what we would expect to the top end of what we'd expect. If it comes into that upper end of the expectation, I think it's something you should definitely discuss with seriousness with your agent.
Yeah, there are situations where people have been on the market, they've got an offer very quickly, they've thought that wasn't enough, they didn't take it, and then they've stayed on the market for a long time and been offered less as time has gone on. That does happen. That really does happen, and it's very sad. How do you get around that? I think it's again knowing the market, working with your agent, and taking that first offer very seriously. is that when you go onto the market, then there's going to be somebody out there that wants to buy. The time that you will most likely get your best offer is in that first 4 weeks, when you got those people that have been looking for anything up to a year, 2 years. If they love your house, they'll put in an offer, and it's important that you take that seriously and don't devalue that because it is quick. I think the problem people have is that they think, well, an offer has come in so quickly, there's going to be heaps more. That's not the case.